Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna Prabhu. Moshikar Prabhu. Are you there?
Good, Prabhu. All good here. And
Yeah,
you?
okay. Yeah, because it looks like my Zoom was hung. So I had
Oh,
to restart the computer. It's very weird. Zoom recording. So yeah, 15 and 16 are pretty much like 1, 2, 27, 28. I just told you. Narayana Paraveda, Narayana Paramakaha, Narayana Para Yoga. Practically the same. Everything that we do, Gati, in terms of destination, in terms of Gyan, in terms of tap, Yog, Maka means Yagya, Loka, wherever you live, which planet, Devata, whether you are a demigod, you should connect your worship to Narayan. And Veda, if you follow Ved, you should Narayana Paraved, you should Yagya Vishnu, you should through the Veda, you should aim at Narayan. So this is how Brahma answers the Dishtanam. Everything finds its shelter into Lord Narayan. And then, and of course, in the beginning of the 5th chapter, Narad had some doubts because even though for a few verses he tends to say that his father seems to be God, but then it dawned upon him, it looks like he's meditating upon someone. So it implies that this person must be higher. So finally, he gets it right. And of course, Brahma starts speaking in 17, and he's totally transparent and he totally admits, of course, I'm not God. So here, we covered that already long back. He discussed about the difference between Vishnu Tattva and Jiva Tattva. And he's going to say, in essence, that yes, I'm just following whatever has been created. I was giving the example of the blueprint of an architect. Architect is being hired by some big customers. They want to build a colony or whatever. So there's a blueprint, and the architect is going to follow the blueprint. So we cannot say the architect is God. He's doing it, yes, for the sake of someone else. So in the same way, Brahma is doing it, but remember, he has to do it every day of his life, every kalpa. So every kalpa, everything is practically destroyed. I mean, not totally, but up to the upper locus, everything is destroyed. He has to recreate from scratch. It's called Visarga. And we discussed also a beautiful point here. Date means to accept, or Jagrihe Purusham Rupam in 131 also. Jagrihe means to accept, Date. So in other words, the Lord, he accepts to play the role of the Purush avatar, of the Guna avatars. And he accepts, even though his Tribir Gunamaya Bhaver 712 is beyond the modes, but he accepts the modes indirectly through his Maya. So this is, even 1 to 23, we have seen, he accepts to play the role of the Purush avatar, breaking down into Vishnu, Brahma, Shiva. But in actuality, that is him. That he accepts to play the role, just like a good actor accepts to play the role of Napoleon, and then another drama he will be playing Julius Caesar, you know. So in the same way, Krishna can accept, but he himself, Lord Krishna, is Goloka Nivasati Akilat Mabuta, is in Golok. Nivasati is dwelling in Golok. But through different incarnations, he accepts. That's the point. Explained by Brahma. Brahma is very much aware of the intricacies. And of course, unfortunately for us, because we are tiny jivas, Jiv Shakti, we are bound up by the modes. And because of that, we cannot perceive Krishna. Naham prakasha savasya yogamaya samavitaha. Krishna says, I reserve myself the right to be hidden. And then, now we are into that big section, which answers, let's go back to 252, and this is the key verse of this chapter, the questions of Arjuna, of Nara. So this is the one. Yata Shirishtam. How is it created? So now we are totally in the thick of it, right here. 21 to 35 is a big chunk. So you want to take over, Bonachandra, because you were there all along? I'm trying to fill in Prabhu because he was missing a lot. If you want to explain this this diagram, you feel free. Otherwise, I will help you. But it's important to understand, and this is the job of Gauranga Darshan. He has done a very good job here. And it tends to summarize what we covered and what we haven't covered. We're going to cover it today. So do you want to intervene, Purnachandra Mataji, or you feel too shy? Are you there? It looks like I lost you again. Wow. Are you there, everyone?
Yes, Prabhu,
Yes.
I am here.
Okay. Okay. I'm here too. Okay.
I thought you had gone. You were gone also.
Oh,
So
so there, it was the Karana Sri, right? Like we were discussing.
yeah, so let me
And,
share the screen because obviously I thought I had lost you. So
no.
okay, so let me reshare the screen then. Yeah, because you guys should be able to explain. This is BV level, huh? You should be able to explain this. I mean, to some extent, you know. But I was just discussing today. I was teaching Bhakti Shastri, and there was a slight connection with this, dealing with the modes and dealing with. So I ventured to share that diagram to them, and they were quite eager to know more. And so I told them, look, why don't you come at 6 p.m. French time today? Because obviously, you know, they're in Gita, and Bhagavatam goes much further, of course, than Gita. So they were quite enthused to know more. And you know, it's a very good group. They're very, very eager to know. So you want to go ahead, Purnachandra, explain this? Prabhu, because he wasn't there.
Okay, we on these chapters we discussed about the Tathashristam and then the Mahat Tadva and the Mahatadva. We did that, and then we went on the modes of passion, ignorance, and goodness. And then for the goodness, it was the Karta, the doer, the Jnana Shakti that dominates us, and then there was the Karana course, the Kriya Shakti for the passion, and the ignorance was that Divya Shakti, Dravya Shakti, right? And then we talked about the 10 senses, the devtas, and the 10 senses of intelligence, and the 5 elements. And we discussed about the sound, touch, form, taste, smell, and ether, air, fire, water, earth. And then the senses and the devtas, like everything has a corresponding part, like the ear is the devta, eyes were the suryas.
Yeah,
Skin.
basically, you're just reading. I was asking, explaining. Okay, I'll do it because I know it's not easy. So within Shrishti, Stiti, Pralaya, you know that verse. Shrishti Tattva means creation, but it's a very big topic. So within that, you find lots of subdivisions. Are you there, Moshika Prabhu?
Yes, Prabhu. Yes.
Okay. So now we are dealing with Karan Shrishti. Wait a minute, I've got a phone call here. No, I cannot take it now. Alors, Karan Shrishti. Karan means Karanam Gunasangosya. Karanam means Karana
Force.
Dakashai Vishnu. Very good. Excellent, Punachandra.
Course, right?
So Shrishti, in other words, what is the cause of creation? We are exactly into that. And then we'll go into, it's mentioned here a little bit later, in Kriya Shrishti, you will see. Let me see. Yeah, Karya Shrishti. Karya means action. So that's why creation is not easy. We have to be very attentive. Now we are into the cause of creation. So as we know, I mentioned many times, but I know it takes many exposure to get it right. This Mahavishnu, what is his status? Is he a Jiv? Is he a Vishnu Tattva? What is it? Mahavishnu.
Is expansion of Lord Narayan.
Yeah. Yeah, it's basically an expansion of Mahasankarshan. And Mahasankarshan is an expansion of Lord Narayan. So it's a Svamsh, that's clear. Svamsh means immediate expansion of Krishna. Is Vishnu Tattva, that's clear. And as we know, when he deems fit to glance upon Pradhan, he condescends. That's his own will. No one can push Lord Mahavishnu to. There's no one else. There's no universe. There is nothing, no demigods. Even material nature is sleeping. She is undifferentiated. There's not even modes of nature at this stage. It's called Sarga. So now the glance itself is Shambhu. Shambhu, Lord Shiv, that's the halo or the glance, Sa Ekshata. The creation does take place through the glance. So the glance is loaded. Don't think it's an empty glance. I told you many times. There's the Chitkana, the particle of the Jiv, Chitkana, is Svabhav. Svabhav again means the way you used to enjoy in the previous creation. Your particular way to enjoy this material world. To the particular way you have to control, that's called your Svabhav. Each one of us, we have a particular Svabhav. Then the karma. Karma is, what does it mean?
Activities.
Yeah.
The living activities.
Activities, and we have discussed in 8.3 in the Gita, that because of these fruitive activities that is urging us, Budva Praliyate, we are kicked in the butt practically, pushing us to take birth again. Why? Because we have more unfulfilled desires, more unspoken desires. We cannot, unless you are Krishna conscious, everyone is pushed, driven, like a bull with a circle in his nose, is driven by the master. And of course, Kal, that's energy of the Lord, Kalosmi, Lokakshakri Pravido. So now, just like the male impregnates the female, this is the same approach. It's called macrocosm. Microcosms, microcosms. Macro, micro. Micro is happening on a very small scale between male and female, and macrocosms, it's happening on a very, very, very big scale. So it is the same process. Male impregnates female. She's dormant. Just like a woman, she's not pregnant. She's impregnated by a male. So even when she's not pregnant, everything is inactive. Everything is undifferentiated. Now she has become pregnant. Of course, Krishna, he doesn't have to use his male organ to impregnate. Krishna is Angani Yasya Sakelendriya Vitimanti. Any organs can fulfill the functions of any other organs. So now there's a breakdown, there's a transformation here. Why is there a transformation between Pradhan and Mahatattva? What happened between the two?
It gets activated
Yeah.
through the glands.
So in other words, it's very well mentioned if you look on the right side. There's some notes here. The glance, as I told you, is going to glance on Pradhan, which is material energy, basically, and is going to infuse it, Kala, Karma, Svabhav, and the Jiv, because the Jiv is also guilty. Remember, Krishna says in 7.5, Aparayamitas Vanyam Prakriti Videpuram, Prakriti Videpuram, what is it? Aparayamitas Vanyam Prakriti Videpuram, forgetting the verse 7.5, we are exploiting the resources of material nature. So we are agitating. Maya Pradhan is being agitated by the glands and by the, I would say the demonic desire of the Jiv to enjoy separately from Krishna. That's transforming Pradhan. And now within Mahatattva, the modes have kicked in. Not only the modes, but there's going to be 24 elements. We discussed in the Gita, 7.4, Bhumi Rapunalovayu. So now Mahatattva is active. In other words, the woman has become pregnant here. She's pregnant. And Mahatattva is predominantly in goodness. There's another law of Mahatattva, which Vishwanath explained, it's called Sutra Tattva, which is more in the mode of passion. And now what's going to happen? Because we want to enjoy. Remember, we are not in the spiritual world. We are in the material world. So how do we function? We are Jivara Svarupoi, Krishna Ranjitadas, Krishna Tatastha Shakti, Beda Beda Prakash. How can we function in this material world? We are eternally pure servant of God. So why do we need to function in this material world? See, we are not in our element. We are alien. We have been thrown in the glands. So how do we function in this world? It's written right here. You just have to read out. We need ahankar. The ahankar is, what's the meaning of ahankar?
False ego.
Yeah. So we cannot function as a pure spirit soul. Why? Because we turn our back to Krishna. Krishna Bahir Mukh. Bahir Mukh, we have turned away our face from Bahir Mukh, away from Krishna. We cannot blame anyone else. We did it. So in order to function in this world, we need another identification, which is false. That's a false identification. Okay? So now, this ahankar is the first element that comes out from Atman. Now, the modes have kicked in here. So automatically, the modes are going to influence ahankar. And the good news, hold on, someone is calling me. Looks like it's important because let me take it to President. Et Hare Krishna, je donnais un cours, c'est pour ça que je ne pouvais pas répondre. Hare Krishna.
Et je vous ai envoyé un message par rapport au article la semaine prochaine, parce que j'ai beaucoup de mal à finir de schedule, il faut vraiment que je l'imprime, là il est déjà 19h, c'est pour ça que je vais faire un truc.
Ah oui, parce que là, je suis en plein cours. Je sais pas trop. Oui, peut-être maintenant ou... Alors, oui. Alors, jeudi 25, ok. Alors, jeudi 25, d'accord.
Mardi de 18h.
Alors, 17h, mon fils a rendez-vous chez le dentiste. Mais tu m'avais dit jeudi, c'est ça? Jeudi midi, c'est ça? Oui, c'est ça.
Non, c'est ça, monsieur. Non, vendredi.
D'accord. Le 26. À quelle heure faut être là-bas? 11h, d'accord, super. Bon, moi, je l'ai marqué. Merci beaucoup. Voilà, j'ai marqué 11h le vendredi 26. Arti, je marque. Arti. Il a rendez-vous à 5h, Harry Toshan. Il a des caries déjà à cet âge-là, oui. Hare Krishna, Machachi. Non, non, Hare Krishna. Oui, okay, sorry. She's chasing me to do some puja. Are you there?
Yes, Prabhu.
Yes, we are here.
I can't hear you, Prabhu.
Me too. I cannot see nor hear.
Oh,
I think
sorry. Yeah, it was my mistake. I switched off the. Okay, can you hear now?
Yes.
Okay.
yes, we can.
So back to Shrishti, Karan Shrishti. So the first element to springs out, to burst forth from Mahatattva is Ahankara, false ego. We need that. Just like if you want to go, when I was a kid, I remember I used to scuba diving a lot, deep, you know. You need a bottle. You cannot function without, you can dive, okay, 10 meters for 30 seconds, 1 minute. But if you want to stay there, you need to equip yourself. So in the same way, if you want to function in this material, you need to equip yourself with Ahankara. There's no question. That is the first element. And it is influenced by the modes. Then Karta. So Karta means in the Gita 1814.
Doer.
Yeah.
The doer.
The doer.
There's 5 doers, and we know that. So Gyan Shakti, which is basically Vekarika, we call Vekarika in Sanskrit, which is basically Sattvagun. So Vishwanath explained very nicely. You will see Vishwanath is quite expert in this domain. See? 24, I believe. Yeah. See, those 3 divisions are described that derive from Sattvagun, Vekarika, from Rajagun, Tejasa, and from Tamagun. The qualities in verse order are Dravya, Kriya, and Jnana. So Dravya, what is it? I told you, let's go back. Dravya is right here. Dravya means, we discussed before, the Pancha Mahabhut. Remember, ether, air, fire, water, earth. It's called the Pancha Mahabhut, the Dravya Shakti. And it's going to give rise to Adibut. We see that in the Gita 729. One governing principle is called Adibut, which is basically the material world. So the material world is an effect of ignorance. Why? Why is there a material world in the first place? Why is there a material world? We could ask ourselves, where is the need to have a material world?
It's the field where the living entities can fulfill their desires.
Exactly.
We going to enjoy.
Yeah, and we're going to discuss today itself. I think it's 2525. Prabhupada explained Proverbs 2526. Yeah. Not 2530. See all these Ugra karmic factories. You see big plants, nuclear plants, producing electricity. This is Ugra karma. It's not needed. But because we have turned to unlimited fulfillment of desires separately from Krishna, it has given rise from a full display of material energy. Factories, IBM, Microsoft, huge giants, you know. But we don't need that. As a pure spiritual, we don't need all these companies. Manufacturing screws, manufacturing wheels, we don't need these things at all. One time a reporter asked Prabhupada, so if I understood you well, my dear sir, you want to stop the material world? Prabhupada said, yes. But then Prabhupada said, the reporter said, well, how will we live? How can we eat? Prabhupada said, if you chant Hare Krishna, the whole planet chants Hare Krishna. Everything will happen automatically. But you have no faith. See? We don't need to have factories, to have cars, to have tar on the road, good shoes, good pants. It's not needed. For the sake of fulfilling the human form of life purpose, it's not needed. You read 2530, it's well explained. So what happened is, see, this is ignorance, karya, the effect. Because of our wayward desires, the Pancha Mahabhut will be given rise. They are right here. The Pancha, you know, the ether, air, they are right here. And now, because we have those 5 Pancha Mahabhuts, they are attracted by what? They're going to give rise to the Tanmatras. See, everything is interrelated. It's very well very well explained. We have 2 sets of senses. We have, which are the product of, right here, passion. Karan. Karan means the cause. Kriya. Kriya means action. We are very active. People are busy themselves all day to make money, to enjoy, to acquire more wealth. It's called Kriya. And for that matter, you need adhyatma. Adhyatma means the mind, the senses. You need to function as a living entity. Even though you're a pure spirit soul, you have to function with your tools, you know, the mind, the pran, your vital airs, the 10 senses, 5 organs, 5 active organs, 5 knowledge-acquiring perceptive senses. Intelligence. Intelligence is the mode of passion. It's not the mode of goodness. The mind is in the mode of goodness, not the intelligence. Intelligence is meant to do things, to scheme out. You follow? So now, back to this one here. We have the Pancha Mahabhut. We have 2 sets of sensors, 2 times 5. And the sensors we know are attracted by the sense object. That's called Tanmatras, the sense object. We have, what is the first one? Akash, ether. So what is the component pertaining to ether? Sound. As I told you many times, if there was no sound, we could not hear each other. We can hear each other because ether is all pervading in the creation. So what is the corresponding sense to that? The ear. You follow? Because we want, the bottom reason is we want to enjoy separately from Krishna. That's the bottom line. So because of that, ahankar, then we need to function, and we are attracting the Pancha Mahabhut to us. Now the Pancha Mahabhut, they are influenced by the Tanmatra. Why? Because we have senses. We have senses. So we attract all these tools, 24, you know. Why? Because in the first place, we want to enjoy separately from Krishna. See? So this is Dravya Shakti, the Pancha Mahabhut. Dravya Shakti means Pancha Mahabhut. Yeah. Then Kriya Shakti, the senses, right here, the mode of passion. And Jnana Shakti, it's a mode of goodness. That's the 10 demigods. They are listed. They are listed. They are listed in which verse? Let me see Vishwanath here. No, it's the 10 demigods, they are listed here. 26, perhaps a bit later, 30. Yeah. See the 10 demigods, they are here. So see, Prabhupada, when look at the diagram, it says here, the 10 sense devatas. And of course, they are listed here also. The dig devatas, meaning the 10 directions, digambal. So the 10 directions, they are controlled by devatas. The eyes, we need the sun. If there was no sun, you cannot see anything. The skin is controlled by vayu, the air. Because of the air, you can feel. See, you can feel the touch of a table, the touch of a tree. You can discern, oh, this is very slick, this is very hard, this is supple. The nose, the breathing process, Ashwin Kumar, you breathe in, you breathe out. The tongue, you taste food, you taste water. Because of Varun, water, see? This is the demigod of ocean. The hands, Indra. The feet, Upendra. Look, be careful here. Vishwanath explained that Upendra doesn't mean God. It's a name of God, I know. But look, it says, Jiva Goswami, this is not Vishnu, but it's a Devata with some powers of the Lord. When we say Upendra, we should not be thinking Vishnu. That's a demigod who is called Upendra. So now, let's carry on. The voice, you can speak, this is a manifestation of fire. Very interesting. Anus, Mitra, and genitals, Prajapati. So that's coming from the mode of goodness. The mind is the product of the mode of goodness. The demigods also, those 10 sense devata. Vishwanath explain nicely these things. Right here, see? 1, 2, 5, 30. Presiding deities. Okay? So let's go back. Okay. So I think we pretty much covered the whole thing, and now we're going to get into the Bhagavatam. Do you have any questions, Prabhu?
Yeah, the Sutra Tattva. Sutra.
Yeah, so Vishwanath is quite precise. I'll show you. He says it's a byproduct of it's a byproduct of Mahatadva. Let me show you what he says. See?
Like we have different sutras in the scriptures. Does that refer to that, or
Sorry, Prabhu?
we have different scriptures with the names of sutras? Does that refer to that?
Sutra in that sense means codes. Codes means like Vedanta Sutra means little codes, very terse and extremely terse and concise. Or, for instance, Om Tatra Brahma Jigyasa. This is a sutra. Here it's got a different meaning. It's got, see, you look at this purport of Vishwanath. See, right here. Pradhan is equilibrium. The material nature is totally neutral, undifferentiated. Then the glands, because of time, because of the tendency of the jiv to enjoy separately, it's going to turn into Mahatattva, which is predominated by sattva. But Vishwanath explained there's a predominance when the Mahatattva is predominated by Raja, it's called Sutra Tattva. It's a type of Mahatattva. See, he explains right here that actually Mahatattva is mostly in Sattva Guna. So there is like a, I would say, an offshoot or duplicate Mahatattva, according to Vishwanath, which is called Sutra Tattva. And that one is in passion. That's what he explains here. See, in 24. Yeah. So let's go back. Unless you have some questions, I can now start the class because I was doing a recap basically.
It's okay, Prabhu. It's all clear.
Yeah, so let me get into Bhagavatam now because it's high time. Let's get down to 25. Okay. Tamasat api bhutade vikuvanat abunnabaha tasyamatra guna shabdo lingam yat drashtri drishyayoho.
Mataji will read without noise at my place.
Yeah,
You can read this one, Prabhu.
Please read, Mataji. There is noise at my place.
Oh, okay, let me read. From the darkness of false ego, the first of the 5 elements, namely the sky, is generated. Its subtle form is a subtle form. Its subtle form is the quality of sound, exactly as the shear is in the relationship with the scene.
yeah. So we are going a little back now because I explained all these things, but it's good to go through the Bhagavatam itself. We discussed, that's right here, basically. Let me go back to that diagram. It's a very nice, well, nicely done diagram. See, from Ahankar, Akash. Akash is the first Panchamahabhut. Akash. Akash means ether, basically. And the subtle form of Akash is sound. And he gives, Brahma gives an analogy, just like the seer is in relationship with the seen. Do you understand this analogy? In other words, see, these are my notes when I took long back, perhaps 20 years ago. The seen is within the seer. If you're not conscious, you cannot see. You follow? Can the tree see? Sorry, not the tree. The tree, well, the tree is living, but it doesn't see. It doesn't have this organ. But let's take a stone. Can a stone see? No. So the very fact that you see is because you are a seer. And before that, of course, the Virat can see, and then only the Jiv can see. That's a different discussion. So the Tanmatra is within the element. You follow? The sense object is within the element. The sound is present within ether. That is why when you speak with your voice, what's going to happen? It's going to agitate the sound within the ether. Just like if you find dry wood and you put fire next to it, I would say twigs, not big wood, obviously, but little twigs, then because fire is within the wood already, it's going to ignite. You follow? So in the same way, because sound is already present within the ether, when you use your voice, let's go back to diagram. When you use your voice right here, okay, which is a sense, it's an organ, it's a sense organ, then it's going to provoke the sound within it. You follow? Because your voice is designed to emit sound. You are a dog, you're barking. You are a lion, you are roaring. You are a demigod, you speak Sanskrit. You are a human being, you quarrel, bicker with others. So you emit sound, and that will be catched by the ether. Within the ether, it's called sound waves. Bhagavatam is extremely scientific. There is no flow. You cannot say, well, perhaps, maybe. No. This is Brahma speaking. He is the architect of the universe. So there's no question to say, are you sure, Lord Brahma? No. It's totally perfect. It's only us, we are short-sighted, short-minded, so we have a hard time to grasp it, but doesn't matter. We have to be exposed many times to it, you know. So let's go back to 25. You stop me if you don't understand. So now my question for the homework was, see, there's a sentence here. The false ego in the sum total form of Mahatattva is generated from the marginal potency of the law. So let's go back to the diagram. The false ego is called Ahankara. Right here. Okay? And what do we hear in 25? The false ego in the sum total form of Mahatattva. So the false ego is coming from Mahatattva, okay? Then Prabhupada says, it's generated from the marginal potency of the Lord. That's very interesting. It means what? It means we are not coming from Golok Vrindavan. We are coming from the marginal potency of the Lord, which is called Tatashta Shakti. But Bhakti Thakur explained Apurna Shakti. We're coming from Apurna Shakti, which is incomplete energy, marginal energy. So why? Because we're coming from that. We have been, how many times have we been cast by the glance of Mahavishnu into Pradhan? How many times? That is why Bhakti Thakur explained, we are guilty even before entering the creation. See? That's why we are called Nitya Bada. You cannot find the time. It's too far back. It's Anadi Karma. The only person who knows is Lord Krishna. When and why. Bhaktivinoda Thakur explained, you cannot search this answer in the material world. It doesn't exist. The answer is not here. You are guilty even before being glanced by Mahavishnu in Pradhan. Yes, because we were guilty. Otherwise, if we hadn't been guilty, we would have been liberated in the last creation. You follow? So now there is no, we should not worry, oh, we are so doomed. No. Krishna says in the Gita 3 times, Yagadvana nivartante. Once you go back, you don't come back down. Finish. But people, devotees will say, oh, we're coming from Golok, this is foolishness. There's no proof. There's no proof. Even Prabhupada himself, right here, is saying the false ego in the sum total of Mahatattva is generated from the marginal potency of the Lord. Full stop. We have to understand what it means. So I was trying to address that in my homework. You know, I don't know if you got it. See? And due to this false ego, we want to load it over. We want to control Purusha Abhiman. Then the ingredients are generated. You follow? All these 24 elements we discuss here, they are ingredients generated for the sake of facilitating the jiv to enjoy separately from Krishna. If everyone didn't want to enjoy separately from Krishna, there would be no need of the material world. As simple as that. It's very simple philosophy in one sense. See? So the very fact that the material exists is the proof that it's full of wayward living entities. Just like someone who's in prison cannot complain, what am I doing here? If he has been judged to go to prison, he's guilty. Full stop. This is the philosophy. So now, So now back in 25, there's another question. And I want you to understand this point also, it's very interesting. See, the living being is the dominating factor. Even though we are Prakriti, Paraprakriti Jivabhuta Mahabaho, but why we are called dominating factor? As if we were the enjoyer. Factually, no one can be called the enjoyer except for the Lord. But just like the verse, Gita, Purusha Prakriti Stohi, Bhungte Prakriti Janguna, Karanang Guna Sangosya Sadasa Jyoni Janmasu. We are Prakriti. Why Krishna is calling us Purush? He's very cynical. Krishna is very cynical sometimes. 13, 20, 21, 22 is calling the Jiv Purush. We are not Purush. Still is calling us Purush because he's cynical. See, because we want to enjoy. And because of that, we get caught by the modes of nature, the complexities of the material world. So you can see how deep is Srila Prabhupada. I mean, practically each purport you can make 1 hour class. And now the next question was, what comes? The Tanmatra, the sense object, or the Pancha Mahabhut? Prabhupada makes the point here. Very interesting. In 20.
The Tanmatra comes first, right?
Yes, very good, Mataji. So let's find the sentence.
Okay, it is said that the Tanmatra sound is created and then the sky.
Very good. Where are you?
25, I think second paragraph, right? 25 second paragraph.
See, it's very well explained. Yes, thank you. It is said that the first the Tanmatra, the sound, is created, then the sky. So in other words, if there is nothing to enjoy, why do you need senses? First question. You understand? If there is no sense object to enjoy, no forms to enjoy, no sound to enjoy, no taste to enjoy, nothing to touch, then why do you need senses? You follow? So first is Tanmatra. It's very interesting actually. See, look at the diagram. It's right here. The Tanmatras are here. They exist because we have senses. Why do we have senses? Because we want to enjoy separately from Krishna. Finish. So this is the point of Prabhupada.
Okay.
It's very interesting.
Prabhu, can I add something? Like,
Yeah, go ahead.
When Lord Brahma he appeared on the navel of Garbhodakasha Vishnu,
Yes.
so he was told to do tapa, so the sound vibration. So like tapa, and there was no the sky was not yet created then.
No, nothing.
Yeah. Okay.
That's totally beginning of Saga. You know, it's way back. There is not even Brahman. The universe was created. Nothing. He's going to do that. He's going to do 1,000 celestial years meditation. Then he's going to hear. He's going to hear the flute of Krishna. Then Brahma Gayatri. Then the first Chaturshloki. Then he's going to transform Bhagavatam. And then he's going to tell his son Narad, please expand on it, on the Chaturshloki. And of course, Narad won't do it. He will delegate to Vyas. Yeah, so see, all these purports are loaded. And now the question is, let me go back to the homework. Yeah, and then Prabhupada, he goes, please explain the sound, which is the subtle form of the sky, Akash. The ether is full of sound, but they won't manifest unless you have a voice. See, why do we have a voice? because we want to voice out our desires separately from Krishna. So that's why the jiva has been given a voice. Why do we have hands? Because we want to touch things, apprehend things which have nothing to do with Krishna. So Krishna in his kindness, Mahavishnu, has given us a set of hands, a set of ears. But that has nothing to do with us. We don't need those things. But we want to enjoy separately from Krishna. That's the bottom line. So now let's make the connection with chanting Hare Krishna, because it's also sound. So what does Prabhupada say in 25 at the end? Did you notice at the end of 25, Prabhupada is very expert. Om Anivriti Shabdat, and the Shabda Brahman, this is the original sound. What is the original sound? And Krishna says in the Gita twice, Om. What is Hare Krishna? Goloka, what is that verse? Goloka, Pramadani Harinam Sankirtan. You know that Goloka, Pramadani Harinam Sankirtan. Yes, it's coming from Golok, Hare Krishna. So the sound of the holy name Shitodarpanam Marjanam, it is not under the modes. It is not coming from Mahatattva. It's not coming from Pradhan. It's not a sense object. It's not different from Krishna. Namachintamani is Krishna, Chaitanya Rasa Vigraha. Abhinadvam Namanaminoho. It's not different. So people misunderstand, oh, it's another sound coming from the ether. No, my dear friend, it's coming from Golok. So if you associate with the sound, that sound is transcendental. It's not coming from the Akash, from this world. Then Shatodapanam. This is the point. See the connection. This is very deep philosophy. See, Jiva Goswami is the same point. As a cause of manifestation, sound is called tanmatra. Yeah. When the effect is manifested, sound becomes its natural quality. Sound causes understanding of the seer. And what will be seen, when you go to university, you hear the sound from the teacher. And you, the seer, are going to understand the mundane subjects. You hear the sound, even materially it applies. You study economics, you hear the sound of economics all day. That will allow you to see what's to be seen pertaining to economics. So from the sound, you can be educated materially and see things in perspective, and spiritually also you can break free. Om Anivriti Shabdat. Can break free from this material world, provided the sound is totally spiritual. You follow? It's very deep. If you know, so if you know any better book, you let me know. So basically, Vishwanath makes the same point here. Okay, let's move on. It's a long Sanskrit, so what we can do is jump into the English right away, of 26 to 29. And can you see, because the sky is transformed?
Yeah. Because the sky is transformed, the air is generated with the quality of touch, and by previous succession, the air is also full of sound and the basic principles of duration of life. Sense perception, mental power, and bodily strength. When the air is transformed in course of time and nature's course, fire is generated, taking shape with the sense of touch and sound. Since fire is also transformed, there is a manifestation of water full of juice and taste. As previously, it also has form and touch, and is also full of sound. And water, being transformed from all variegatedness on earth, appears odorous and, as previously, becomes qualitatively full of juice, dirt, sound, and form respectively.
So what does it mean? See, this is my question in 26. Explain how the elements unfold. They retain the previous qualities pertaining to the previous elements. You follow? You don't lose out. You have to explain this. It's very nicely explained. In other words, what is the sum total of the Pancha Mahabhuts? See, let's go back to the diagram. See? The Pancha Mahabhuts are here. Which element contains the qualities of all the others?
Sound.
No, the earth.
Oh.
See, don't you get it backwards? Sound has got only the subtle quality of sound is ether. Sorry, of ether is sound. So now it's going to create, ether will transform into touch. Okay? And then from touch is a subtle element, subtle form of air. So you're adding up. When you are on the level of air, you can access to sound and touch. Then air will transform into form. Then form is a subtle form of fire. If there is no fire, there's no form. You cannot see anything if there's no fire. There's no sun in the sky, which is the origin of fire. There's no form. You cannot see anything. So fire accommodates sound, touch, form. Then fire will transform into taste. And taste is a subtle form of water. So now give me an element, give me an example how water is in fire, for instance.
How water is when the sun evaporates water from
Yeah, very good, very good. Like you have seen when you do a pressure cooker.
Yeah.
It's very interesting. You can see when you analyze cooking, you can get a lot of insight. Pressure cooker, it's fire, it's boiling in there like anything. Then it cools off. Then water will come out into water and even air in the forms of vapor, isn't it? And the sound it will blow like anything. So everything is there. The sound is blowing like hell. Then the water is bubbling. You have seen it's bubbling. You're cooking something, it's over spills. Water is over spilling. So it creates water. It's included. And then the sound, let's say you are underwater. Can you hear the sound or not?
Yes.
Of course. Yes, definitely. When you are underwater, I was doing scuba diving for years. I was 15, 16, going down to 75, 80 meters. You can hear the sound. The sound propagates in water. Yes. So whatever, it includes all the preceding qualities, see? At each level of transformation, the Lord's energy in the form of time produces the subsequent state of transformation. This is the verse 26, 29. So the final recipient, the sum total of the Pancha Mahabhut is here, Earth. We call the planet Earth. So all the other preceding qualities are included. See, you can smell, you can taste, you can see, you can touch, and you can hear. That's why we have senses. Why? Because again and again, because we want to enjoy separately from Krishna. That's why the first element was Ahankara. Do you know a better way to explain? This is Bhagavatam. Well, let's carry on. Okay, so 30. Vekarikan mano jagye deva vekarika dasha Digvatalka pracheto svi vani dropendra mitrakaha.
From the mode of goodness, the mind is generated and becomes manifest. All is also the 10 demigods controlling the bodily movements. Such demigods are known as the controller of directions, the controller of air, the sun god, the father of Daksha, Prajapati, and the Ashwin Kumaras, the fire god, the king of heaven, the worshipable deity of heaven, the chief of the Adityas, and Brahmaji, the Prajapati, all come into existence.
Yeah, so that's my question. Really. It's self-explanatory. Yeah, these are the demigods that are here. Let's go back to the diagram. They are right here. See, they are right here. These are very important. I told you, you find major demigods, presiding deities, minor demigods. So it's quite complex. You will find in 8th canto all these things. So these are big demigods. They are in charge of controlling the bodily movement. Okay? So let's see if we have more homework on this one. Yeah, I kind of touched upon it. Ugra karma, vikarma. It's part of 13. So many, we are wasting our energy, human energy, into so many misplaced activities. This is the point. Because Vikarika Sattvagun is quite neutral, and this is here. This is neutral. Sorry, yeah, right here. This is Vikarika means goodness. Goodness is neutral, but mode of passion will kick in. Rajagun Mahatsabaha. What is it, that verse of Krishna? Mahapana Mahashana Mahapatma Vijayanaiha Verinam Rajaguna Samudbhavaha. Yeah, passion has to kick in. Passion is driving us to do things. 10 senses, intelligence, and we get in, and so passion cannot stay forever. It will come down to ignorance. See, and then we get involved into the material nature, like anything. We want to build things. We want to build castles, factories, because we want to enjoy more in subtleties, in very refined manners. We need more articles, more items to enjoy. This bag, that bag, this pair of shoes, this tennis racket is better, this car is better. So that's basically the transformation of the modes, and we are getting into Ugra karma, Vikarma. It becomes extremely non-conducive to spiritual life. We have become caught up in the complexities of natural nature. And we know it's bad, we want to get away, but we are, totally on the mental platform. It's very difficult to break away from that, from the glue, because we don't control the mind. So the mind is driving us. Intelligence is spoiled. Intelligence is mediocre in Kali Yuga. So people cannot break away. So Prabhupada says in 30, did you notice at the end of 30, he gives a solution? What is the remedy to cure the disease of sense gratification? Very interesting. At the end of 30, and then he gives the flaws, the weaknesses of Gyan and Yoga. He explains very nicely what's wrong with Gyan, what's wrong with Yoga. It's mentioned at the end of 30.
Okay, the yogis and the jnanis, on the other hand, deny the senses of the Lord, and they artificially try to control the activities of diseased senses.
Yeah. If you try to control your mind and senses independently of Krishna, what's the use? You become, look at Hiranyakashipu. Can you beat him in terms of yoga? Can you beat him? But look at his intent. It's practical. He wanted to kill Vishnu. Can someone beat him in terms of yoga? He was on the level of his life there was in his is in what do you call it, the core, the skeleton and the backbone. No flesh left. Everything has been eaten out by the termites. We can be on that level. And still he was ill intentioned towards Krishna. And the Jnani, they deny the senses of the Lord. They try to stop the activities of the senses. It's not possible. So the only course of action is Rishikena, Sevana Bhakti Rochate. Engage yourself in the fulfilling the Lord's senses. That's the only way out. Otherwise, you're stuck. Yeah. So anyway, let's carry on. We are into 31. Tejasat tu Vukarvanat Indriyani Dasha Bhavan Jnana Shakti Kriya Shakti Buddhi Pranascha Tejaso Shrotram Twa Granadrik Jiva Vagdo Medangri Yavaha.
By further transformation of the mode of passion, the sense organs like the ear, skin, nose, eyes, tongue, mouth, hands, genitals, legs, and the outlet for evacuating, together with intelligence and living energy, are all generated.
See, the beautiful point also of 31, we have intelligence. We cannot say that people are not intelligent. That would be rascal to say that. But what is the problem with their intelligence? Krishna says in the Gita 7:15, the Dushkritina, Mayaya Paritagyan. They have gyan, they have knowledge, but it's been stolen by Maya. See? So because see, the whole world is based on intelligence. Everyone is based on intelligence, and you will get diploma in terms of your intelligence. They will say, oh, he failed his diploma because he has less intelligence than this guy. So intelligence is the I would say the yardstick of this world, which is true. And if you need intelligence, what else do you need? You need senses to get down to work, to fulfill. And you need organs to function. You need knowledge acquiring senses. But at the end of the day, when you look the reality, what is it? In one word, it's called karshati. Remember 15:7? Mame mancho jiva loke jiva bhuta sanatana manashtanas nindriyani karshati. We are struggling like hell with the mind and senses because we want to keep the status quo. I have to maintain my status quo in society. So it's a hard labor. You're working like hell. And at the end of the day, we're just struggling against the mind because the mind is pushing us more. Do this now, do that. And the senses are behind, little hands. Yes, you're right. Let's do it. That's how we get caught up life after life. Very well explained. See, if someone, even a non-devotee, reads that, he has a little good brain, he will see, I mean, these guys are right. The book is perfect. That's why I joined ISKCON. Even I could understand before I was a devotee. This book is perfect. Do you find a fault in this book? I joined because of this book, I'm telling you. Otherwise, I would have never joined ISKCON. It's so clear. I could see that there's no flow. There's no flow. It's so clear, crystal clear, so limpid. So 32. Yadate sangata bhava bhutendriya manogunaha yada yatan nirmane nashiku brahma vitam. This is 32. Now we are entering a different, slightly different section. It's called Karya Shrishti. Go ahead.
Mataji. Okay. O Narad, best of the transcendentalists, the forms of the body cannot take place as long
Sorry.
as oh,
Go ahead, Prabhu.
okay. O Narad, best of the transcendentalists, the forms of the body cannot take place as long as these created parts, namely the elements, senses, mind, and modes of nature, are not assembled.
Exactly. So we are talking about that now. Please explain a little bit, Prabhu.
Give analogy of like
Oh, there's a lot of noise. Huh?
motor car, how it is assembled. So the body also has different assembly parts, like the senses, mind.
Yeah. What is that noise? Very heavy noise.
Oh, sorry, I see.
He's with other people there, devotees, right?
They should stop and come and listen Bhagavatam.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, I can do a little bit here because Prabhupada is comparing the human body to the car and how is it controlled by the living beings, and then about the spark, like how the entity is in a spiritual spark, right?
Yeah.
And they are also the part and parcel of the supreme being, and they are given some freedom to act according to their will. So similarly, like the material creation is made, it's possible, it's only made by possible with the will of the Lord over their surrounding. And the living entities are like small children playing in the material world. That's what they're discussing here. And they may mistakenly conceive supreme truth to be feminine.
Yeah.
But the grown-up sons of the Lord, they all act as material nature controlled by Lord. And the body is temporary vehicle for the soul. So we should always know that the body is only temporary and it's just the vehicle of the soul. And we can take control of our lives in our way to line with the true nature. And we can understand the transcendental and material world experience through the spiritual realm of the ultimate destination.
Yeah. Yeah. So those two verses, it's basically 32 and 33, they work together.
Hmm.
And whatever we see, you see the body of a tree, the body of a human being. What is it? It's an assembling of what? Elements, that's Pancha Mahabhut, we know, earth, water, fire. Senses, we have two sets, 5 and 5, active organs, and knowledge acquiring senses. Mind, that's already 15 plus 1, 16, and the modes. The modes are just like yesterday in 111. Tejo, Valvidam Yata, Vinimayo, Yatrati Sagomnisha. Whatever we see is an assembling of the modes. Little, just like a boy or girl at school, he takes clay, he's going to take some red clay, some green clay, some yellow clay, and it's going to assemble those clay and make a little houses, a little cow is assembling. So that's what we're made of. We are symbols. So in 33, it says Sad Asadvam, primary, secondary forms. So there's a Shakti behind, see? It's mentioned in 33. Bhagavat Shakti Choditaha. Parasya Shakti Vivideva Shruyate. Krishna has unlimited Shakti energies. So there's one particular energy. It's called Bhagavat Shakti. And what does she do, the Shakti? She assembles.
Okay.
It's very interesting philosophy, huh? She assembles, conglomerate. Jiva Goswami explained conglomeration. Conglomeration means, it's a French word also. It means conglomeration. Let me look it up. I think it's explosion, no? Conglomeration. Let's find out the meaning of conglomeration. I want to make sure I got it right. Conglomeration.
Moderation.
See. Oh, this is okay. Let's put it in English. Conglomeration meaning, yes. A number of different things, parts, or items that are grouped together. Collection. The process of forming a conglomerate. Let's say you merge different companies together. We say it's a conglomeration of different companies. They merge together. That's what it is. See, Jiva Goswami says, impelled by the Shakti, it's mentioned in 33, Bhagavat Shakti, that causes conglomeration. It assembles things together. Belonging to the first Purush, this Shakti belongs to whom? To Mahavishnu, the first Purush. Is an Amsha of Bhagavan. See, he's an Amsha of God. He's God, okay, but he's not the original personality of Godhead. He enters, see, Mahavishnu enters into the elements. Just like the Chatur Shloki, we're going to discuss 2933. What is it? It's the Chatur Shloki of Bhagavatam. It says, I enter, I do not enter. 29, I would say 29. Pravistani, apravistani, tatateshu nachiteshvaham, 2935. Krishna says to Brahma, I enter within everything created, at the same time I do not enter. So as Krishna, Bhagavan, he doesn't enter. He's playing in Golok with the gopis and the gopis. But as Mahavishnu, he enters into the various elements. And that is the job of Brahma, actually. The body of the universe is created, and the jivas. We have, you can see giraffe, polar bear, tree, flowers, different construction, different bodily construction. Very interesting. So let's see, Jiva Goswami, this is 32. See, now we are coming to the end of Karana Shrishti. See, I told you. We started Karana Shrishti right here. See, Karana Shrishti started 21. We are finished with that. The cause of the Karana means the cause. What is the cause? We finish with that. And now we are entering Karya Shrishti. See, here was the cause we discussed. Now we're going to discuss the Karya. Karya means to do, and also how they mix together. Beginning, they were not mixed. The elements are separated. Then they mixed. Because you can take, if you take, let's just like a building, what is it made of? Sand, water, cement. You follow? Now the mason, what they do, they mix things together. They take a little sand, little water, some iron. They will to reinforce the cement. They will put iron, sorry, inside. So they are mixing things. So in the same way, unless and until it is mixed, it cannot assemble the bodies. So it is by the Shakti it is assembled, and then not only is sufficient, Krishna or Mahavishnu has to enter inside. Otherwise, it cannot hold together. So who is entering? It's Kshirodakashayi. So they become combined by this compacting energy, which is described in 33, sorry, Bhagavat Shakti Choditaha. She combines the compacting energy. And then they take primary forms, secondary forms. And it is the same for the universe. And the same for the little jivas. See, this is how it is explained in the Srimad Bhagavatam. So now we're going to stop, but next time we will carry on. And we are right here. We are just started off Karya Shrishti. Okay. So it's very well explained by this Prabhu. He has done a great job. His name is Gauranga Darshan. The 23 elements, Mahatattva, Ahankar, the 5 Tanmatras, 5 gross elements, 11 senses. That's 23. It's unmixed. Then they are assembled by this Shakti, which is mentioned. Bhagavat Shakti Chodita, 33. And then after 1,000 years of inactivity, Garbhodakashayi Vishnu enters the universe. Garbhodakashayi Vishnu is the second form of Vishnu. The first one is Mahavishnu. So it takes 1,000 years of inactivity before entering, and then it's going to enliven it. And then the Virat. See, very well explained. The Hiranyagarbha. Sometimes Garbhodakashayi is called Hiranyagarbha. Hiranyagarbha is a very difficult term. Sometimes it means Brahma. Sometimes it means Garbhodakashayi Vishnu. Sometimes it means a yogi. But here it means Garbhodakashayi Vishnu. Because unless God enters the matter, matter cannot move on its own. It's valid at a petty level, we are a tiny little entity, or it's also valid at a huge level. The universe, everything may be assembled properly, but if there is no presence of God, it's not going to move. It's inactive, it's dead. The universe is dead. Just like our body is dead. It has to be animated by the soul. Hare Krishna. Thank you.
Thank you, Prabhu. Sorry, I was like, my voice was down. I was reading, but the sound didn't even go.
Yeah, it's okay, I'm trying. Yeah, so we'll start off next time. After we'll start off from, I would say,
33.
yeah, 33 or even 34. Or we can do 33 again anyway. Hare Krishna.